Hello, welcome to another episode of Solar Sales Uncensored. I am your host, Aaron Browning, and I know I say it every week how fired up I am. It's because we keep bringing talent, like straight talent. I have the privilege of introducing my really good friend, one of my business partners, Mr. Alex Shahid. I want to brag on him for a second because he won't do it himself. I shouldn't say that. The one brag he will do, he'll do something like this with his arms, except they're 9 times the size of mine. For those of you watching the video, you can actually see it. But he's an insane individual. We often call him the Energizer Bunny. He brings it, and that's really what we're going to take a deep dive on today. He has built sales teams of over 5,000 people and several different vehicles. He's personally trained over 100,000 entrepreneurs on business strategy, how to launch a business. Like, boom, right there. He's done a keynote for a $2 billion company. That does not happen by mistake. He has a wife who is absolutely amazing. Her name is Julia. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. And two beautiful kids, 7 and 4. And like I said, today we're going to take a deep dive on the energy that it takes to be on a $2 billion stage, how that translates to success, to sales, and also to recruiting. So without further ado, Alex Shahid, how the heck are you, man?
Man, brother, I am amazing. Aaron Browning, dude, legendary, bro. That's why I wore the shirt for you today. Be legendary.
I
This was
love
for
it.
you. I
Uh,
just
uh,
wanted you to see this so while you were looking at it, you realized that you were legendary. And if you're listening to this podcast, just know that you're a future legend or you're already currently legendary. But we're all striving towards greatness. It's my honor to be here. Thank you for the kind words. And honestly, it's super humbling because from a kid that was bullied, picked on, made fun of, lacked self-confidence, it's crazy to think that today I'm able to carry the energy that people want to hear. People buy tickets to come hear not only me speak, but to come to events that I keynote at. And it's not, I don't want that to come off the wrong way about me. It's just to say that no matter where you come from, no matter how much confidence you have or lack thereof, which we're going to talk about gaining the confidence to have the energy today as well, that it's amazing how your story can turn around. Any 5 years can change your life. And I see that most people overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 5 or 10. And so I'm just really a testimony to discipline and consistency, because ultimately discipline equals freedom. So I'm so glad to be and so proud to be here today to share a message with you, your followers, and hopefully one person out there can hear this and change their life, because it all starts with one. So Aaron, thank you for inviting me today.
Bro, this is going to be sick. This is going to be sick. It's going to be fun too. By the way, little sidebar for everybody. We actually had Alex as I'm going to call it a keynote for my team training for one of our companies. The feedback, he broke the training, broke it. They want no part of me. They said, can Alex be our leader? Can we bring him back every single day? I called him. I said, Julia, clear this man's schedule. I got to get him on the podcast. We're literally here less than 24 hours later. So thank you for that. Something you touched on, and by the way, this is uncensored, brother. You know that. I know you're transparent. That's part of the reason I wanted you here. You just touched on your past, getting bullied, picked on.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about that. And then what was the transition to you becoming who you are now?
Yeah, man. Oh, that's deep. And not to spend a whole lot of time on it, but everybody's got a past. So whatever I'm about to share with you is not like a sob story. It's not woe is me. Everybody, especially when you're growing up, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too the other. And really, what is that? What is normal? But as a kid, I'm an only child. And so I think that only children probably get treated a little bit different, spend a little bit more time with the adults. My son, George, reminds me of an only child. When I asked him one time, he's 7 years old, I said, George, do you wish you were an only child? And the level of thought that went into that was unexpected. He sat there and pondered it. What would it mean, the death to Ella, which is his younger sister who's 4? There was just way too many thoughts in his head for, oh, yeah, it would be great. He was like, then what about Ella? And just so intelligent. But I think that at a young age, I thought about things a lot. And I wasn't the cool kid. I didn't have the genes that went down far enough. Now, different, you know what I'm saying? Flooding or whatever they used to call it. You can see my ankles. I'm like,
Yep.
Mom, you're killing me here. You're not helping out at all. And it all started in that 4th and 5th grade range, and it went all the way through 11th grade, where I lacked self-confidence. I got in a lot of trouble in school. I had got in trouble with the law. Just all this emotion and this energy that I have today, that I found something positive to put it towards. I lack the vehicle to achieve that. I think that's why so many people today in sales that are killer, they may have had a felony on their record. They may have gone to jail. They may have gone through a divorce. They may have gotten on drugs. They may have done different things because they were in search of something that to mitigate the energy. And so that was me as a kid. I didn't know where to put my energy. People picked on me, made fun of me. I lacked self-confidence. I wasn't able to connect and communicate with peers my age. The crazy part is adults, I could talk to them all day. When I was 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, adult conversations were not an issue, but connecting with people that were my peers was weird. It just didn't jive. And I tell you, and I wasn't expecting to talk about this, and I hope you don't mind, but I just started a
No,
nonprofit
run.
called You Matter Most. And you can go to youmattermost.com, youmattermost.org, and it's you with the letter youmattermost.com.org.
Okay.
We're still building out the website. This is very new. And what it's designed to do is to target kids 4th through 11th grade. So if anybody listening, you've got kids that have been picked on and bullied, and that's their situation now, and you hear about that as a parent. I want to speak to those kids and let them know that you matter most, that you're unique, that you're understood, and that you matter, and that you matter most. And I get chill bumps because I just like both arms, and I got hair on my legs too. I can't get them up to the camera level. I'd show you. They're probably.
Please don't.
Hold on, let me try. No, I'm just kidding.
By the way, those of you watching video, he's huge. He works out all the time, but I joke with him. I think he skips leg day. And he's gonna kill me for saying that one.
Better be glad we're through a screen, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
You ain't lying. I would never say that face to face.
I love it. So what that nonprofit is, and You Matter Most, is ministering to those kids to let them know that they are unique. They've got incredible energy in themselves. And a lot of those kids that have went to alternative school, maybe that was you, maybe that was one of your kids, I don't think they're bad kids. I think they have misplaced energy. And so that's why speaking about
100%.
energy, talking about energy, I think is so powerful today. Because if you know how to use your energy properly, the possibilities are limitless. And I give you an analogy that I was told one time. I didn't come up with this, but ever since I heard it, I couldn't stop thinking about it. There's 1 billion kilowatts of energy in the sun. And if you walk outside, you can be there for hours without even getting a sunburn. Now, depending on your complexion, some people can be out there all day and not get a sunburn. But if you put 1 kilowatt of energy in a laser beam, it can cut through a diamond, which is the hardest surface on Earth. And what that told me is, number 1, the power of energy, and number 2, the power of focused. And so you may be in a business, working on a project, in your family, and you're not getting the results that you want, whether it's the sales, whether it's with your wife, whether it's with your husband, whether it's with your kids. And I'm the kind of, I'm going here. So just stop me and we'll change directions anytime we need to.
Flow.
I'm not the kind of guy that, and again, you could judge me, which I don't care, because I was the kid that was picked on, made fun of, whatever. And I think that's what's made me so good today, is because I don't give a damn. I don't know. Can we cuss on this Zoom?
Maybe. Yeah, you can now.
I don't give a damn. Like, that's a cuss word. What people think about me today, it's not about quantity time. It's about quality time. And I'll set timers on my phone. I'll pull it out and say, George, in the middle of giving other people energy, impacting their lives, providing a lifestyle for our family that we absolutely love. And I'll set a timer for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and I'll set my phone aside. I won't touch it. I won't talk about business, take any phone calls, nothing. And for that 10, 20, 30 minutes, whatever that is, it's undivided, focused attention. And I think that he gets more out of that than if I was halfway present, scrolling on my phone, sending out some text message, doing some business. And I caught myself a week or two ago. This is my office, home office. He was sitting on the couch, and he was talking to me, and I said, hold on, George, I'm just getting some business done real quick. And this is a part of energy. This is a part of focus. This is a part of what you're aware of, raising your awareness, because that's all life is. The people that are more successful have a higher awareness of opportunities, obstacles, how to get around them, so on and so forth. And I said, George, hold on. I got to tell you something. I was not truthful. I'm not just doing business. I said, George, I am focused on my business right now so that you and Mom and Ella can have an amazing lifestyle. So I'm not just doing business. I'm building an empire so that we can live our dream lifestyle. You know how you love to go to baseball? You know how you love traveling all the time? You know how you have more stamps on your passport than most grown adults? That's because Dad is focused on doing business. And he goes, I understand, Daddy. And so, again, I don't think kids lack Capacity, I think they lack coaches. And so when you're talking to your and you're doing business and you're like, hold on, daddy's on a call, maybe not in that exact moment, but maybe taking some time to explain to them, do you know why daddy was on that call? Do you know why mama was on that call? Do you know why I give so much energy and focus towards building my business, working on my dreams? Because we can all make a living 9 to 5. Whatever you may be in a
Yep.
job right now, you may not have a business, but you build a fortune working from 5 to 9. It's what you do nights and weekends that ultimately set you free. And so having that conversation with your family, having that conversation with your spouse, with your kids, and then working out the time that you spend with them and giving them your energy at appropriate times. If your significant other is nagging you about spending a weekend at an event that's going to elevate your energy, that's going to elevate your success, that's going to elevate your business, then it wasn't the weekend that they were nagging you about. It was the other 27 days that you didn't give them the proper attention.
Ooh,
Anyway, I think I'm done.
love it. Dude, I love it. Hopefully everybody can hear and really feel his energy. It's freaking amazing. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to go there either. And that's part of the reason I love hanging out with you, man. We just don't know where it's going to take us.
Yep.
And viewers and listeners, that's the beauty of it. You guys are sitting on our shoulders hearing a private mastermind that we just happen to allow you to be a part of. I love what you said about goal setting with the kids and family. I'm huge on that. My kids know, both of them, both my sons and my wife, obviously know the next goal that we're chasing. They know what it means for the family. And we share that with them for everything he just said, but also to get their buy-in. Mm-hmm. There are times I don't want to be in my office. Like my family right now, they just left so we could record this at home like you. They went to Chick-fil-A and they're going to the creek to go putz around. I wish I was with them as much as I love Alex, but they know why I'm here. They're not bugging me. They're not saying, Dad, why are you not coming this round? They know that I'm going to have the quality time with them, but we're here building, man. We're here building, and they get it. They know what the end goal is, so they're pushing me. They allow me that energy to stay focused and to go do this with you.
Yeah, so let me speak to that for a minute. What is your conversation with your kids like? Because, and that's a conversation for those listening and for Aaron. And let me give you an example. When George came to ask me, and George is just, he loves communicating and connecting with dad. Like he's just at that age where he's a daddy's boy, and I love it. And he says, Daddy, do you want to go with us? And you could easily say, no, I can't, or oh, I'm busy, or whatever. Again, it's being aware of how you respond to those that you care about most. I said, George, I would absolutely love to go with you, but do you know why I'm not able to this time? I said, because Daddy's got to work. Daddy's got to build a business again for you guys so that we can go on more trips together. So it's, again, I don't know why I feel so compelled to break down the verbiage with our kids, because I just think that everything that we're experiencing in the world today, everything that's happening, whatever you believe in, I just feel like we're in an interesting time. And I think the only thing that's going to solve those problems is not politics, it's not Republican, Democrat, it's not president, it's our kids. And so are you investing that time so that they become aware of those things? So yes, George, I absolutely wanted to go with you, but Daddy's got to focus on business right now. Let's hang out when you get back, because I'm going to be on a podcast impacting other parents' lives so that they can give the same energy and time to their kids as I give to you.
Yeah, I love it, man. Beautifully said. I think it's important we're teaching them. You're role modeling behavior.
Yeah.
And you're just explaining it to him so he understands. That is so freaking huge. Two other things, and we'll go to the next one. For parents out there, and once again, we didn't know we were going to go there, who aren't explaining this, aren't having these conversations, it's because you're not passionate about what you're doing. That's one of the reasons. It is what it is. If you're just talking about a 9 to 5, that's not knocking a 9 to 5, but if you're not getting fulfilled from, that's very hard to go talk to your kids. Hey, I can't wait to go to a cubicle today to punch away so that I can retire at 40% of what I'm making 40 years from today. Yeah. Sorry for my shameless plug, right? But it's hard to do that. The second reason, and this is going to sting, but this is uncensored and I just don't care, is you have already been telling your family, probably your spouse, that you're going to take it to the next level for many months, for many years, and you've never shown up. You've never followed through. And so I'm going to be blunt. They have every right not to believe in that. They have every right to think that you're choosing something else over them because they don't get it. So for those of you living that dream or that fallacy, step up. You want to get your family's buy-in for you going away for a weekend to a convention, to a training that you just have to hear. They need to know what you're going to do with that information. That it's not just wasted time, you hanging out at a happy hour, networking with your friends, that you're actually going to build something that's going to bless everybody you freaking care about. And that's showing up. that make sense, Brian?
Absolutely. Unconditional love is something that you should expect in your relationship, not unconditional support. And what
Ooh,
I
woo.
mean by that, unconditional love, like there's no reason that your spouse shouldn't love you and you shouldn't love them. But support is not unconditional. If you keep saying, I'm going to make this business work, I'm going to go out and sell this product, I'm going to go out and sell this service, I'm going to go out and build X, Y, and Z, and you fail to do it consistently, it's the difference between being the chicken and being the pig. The chicken was interested in breakfast, right? So the chicken and the egg, right? The chicken lives another day. The pig was committed to breakfast. Like it's the bacon, bro. So when you ask yourself, are you the chicken or the pig? And you got to be the pig. And so when you're working towards a goal, are you just doing what's convenient or what's necessary? Because when you do what's necessary, when you're the pig, you'll do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, no matter what excuse. But what I've found is that people will say, oh, no, I can't go to date night because I've got a training call or I got to jump on the Zoom with a coach. Oh, no, I can't go this weekend with the family to the wedding or whatever because I've got a company event. Oh, I can't stay for dinner, babe. I've got a Zoom or a meeting. And they always hear what you're not able to do because of these sacrifices you're making to grow, but they don't see any results. And so all
Mm.
they hear is what you can't do because you're building this dream. And they say, maybe you need to get with a reality and pay us some more attention, because the energy in those 27 days, based on that example, it wasn't that one weekend. It wasn't that one night. It wasn't that one call. It was the lack of focus. It was the lack of attention all the other days. And so it's all about intentionality.
That's a nugget drop, man. It really is. Being intentional with the time you are giving people around you. That's not just family. It's friends, it's business partners. It's, are you putting that phone down? Are you turning your watch off? Are you 100% committed? I don't care if it's 2 minutes. Alex, I got 2 minutes, man. How are you? How's the family? I'm laser focused on that. I'm receiving that energy. I'm giving him that energy. I'm giving him that attention. And I love that, man. Let's talk about energy as a catalyst for sales. In your experience, and this is where you shine, arguably better than anyone I've ever met. How does your personal energy, whether it's enthusiasm, passion, confidence, could be all of those for you, how has it directly impacted sales?
They say that sales is a transference of belief, right? And you have to believe in what you're doing, but I also believe it's how you show up. And people don't buy from the depth of your knowledge, they buy from the height of your enthusiasm. And when I get excited, when I have energy, I'm not yelling at you guys on the Zoom. I tell you what, you got to be excited. And I'm like, that's weird to me. Maybe that's not weird to you. Maybe you learn from people like that and then teach their own. But for me, energy doesn't mean your ability to yell at people. Energy is your ability to control the room. When you're having a conversation with somebody, and it's the difference between who you are today and who you are 5 years from now is, number one, the books that you read, and number two, the people that you associate with. So
Say it louder for the people in the
the
back.
books that you read and the people you associate with. And right now, we're not a book. We may write a book one day. As a matter of fact, that's one of my goals, to write a book to impact more people's lives. But you're associating with us right now. We're part of your association by jumping on this podcast, all the YouTube videos that you listen to, all the podcasts that you can listen to. Guys, we live in a world and society where you don't have to pay $80,000 to go to college. You can literally go to YouTube University and type in sales mastery, sales training, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, the best of the best, Jim Rohn. I mean, whoever you follow, us, right? Whoever that is, that you can get that level of understanding about how to control the energy in the room. And so I do some things that are not, how do I want to say, not normal. I'm not your normal sales guy. I don't go into the room. I can't tell you the fives. I do have a 4-step close, but that's not what we're talking about today. I'm not the tie down closer. You would not call me the ultimate closer, but you know what? I am the ultimate opener, because that's what sales is all about. The lead measure determines the lag measure. And when I go into a room, like I've got a meeting today at 11:30, that when I show up to it, when I jump on, my first thing I'm going to do is, yo, what's going on, y'all? That's it. That's my entry. Yo, what's going on, y'all? And with that smile on my face, with that energy, and you know what? Everybody in the room changes their energy just like that, because of that energy. Looking them in the eye, shaking their hand. My son's 7 years old. When he meets new people, you know what he does? Extends his hand, shakes it, and looks at them. Nice to meet you. Where did he learn that from? Dad, teaching the right principles. So people
Love that,
love
man.
to hear their name. They love to receive good energy. It's when you go to a concert, when you're listening to your favorite song, you feel that energy. And what do you do when you hear your favorite song on the radio? You turn it up. And so when you're selling whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Are you people's favorite song? Do they want to turn you up or turn you off? And whenever I go into any room, I am genuinely excited to see the other person. I think there was a book, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. If you've never read that as a sales professional, and I don't mean reading it in a week, reading the scrolls, you're supposed to read each scroll morning, afternoon, and evening. In the evening, you read them aloud. You read each scroll for 30 days, and there's 10 scrolls. That book should take you 10 months to finish. I did it in 10 months. Absolutely changed my whole life. That was in 2015. I was struggling, not financially hitting my goals, lacking discipline, lacking self-confidence, lacking belief. And let me speak to that just for a moment. You show me somebody that lacks self-confidence, and I'll show you somebody that doesn't keep a promise to themselves. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm ready. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to go to the gym. And you don't go to the gym. I'm going to wake up by 7 o'clock this morning. My feet are going to be on the ground by 7 o'clock. And you sleep till 7:15. I'm going to show up to that meeting this week. I'm going to show up to that meeting. And you don't go to the meeting. I'm going to insert blank as small as it is. That's why, I forget who it was, said if you make your bed, you can change your life. Because you're saying I'm going to make my bed and you do it in the morning. It's a positive action. You show me somebody like Aaron Browning, like myself, like some of you listening to this, you're like, dude, I have unlimited confidence. It's because you keep promises to yourself. And if you keep promises to yourself consistently, you have a higher level of energy, you have a higher level of enthusiasm, and other people want to be around that. And so you can literally attract people through that energy. And if you've been in the negative vibe where you've lacked self-confidence because you've not followed through with things that you said that you were going to do, then start today. And don't make it ridiculously hard. Like, I'm going to go to the gym every day this week. Probably setting yourself up for failure if you haven't been to the gym since the beginning of the year or July. So tell yourself one thing that you're sold out on doing. Like, I'm going to make a phone call. Now, I know that we got a lot of sales pros on here, so a phone call doesn't sound like anything. I'm going to make 10 calls, whatever that is. But say something that you're going to do, mean what you say, and follow through with it. And that's how you gain self-confidence. You gain further awareness, and you gain a higher energy so that when you go in that room, you own that room with your energy.
Love that. And by the way, for those obviously listening on the podcast or the YouTube version, let us know in the comments something that separates Alex and I from those sales pros where they pound the phones, pounding the doors, thousands of phone calls with dialers and all that stuff. Alex and I don't do that.
No.
We are more on the attraction part. And so if you would like a deep dive on that topic, it just came to me. We haven't done one of those. Let us know, because you can be successful. We're proof of that without pounding the freaking phones. If someone handed me a phone and a phone book, like they say, lock yourself in a room for 12, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be working for someone else. And so you don't have to do that. And those of you that are doing that, more power to you. You're a whole different level, and that's awesome. But success, there's so many lanes for us to play in. Alex, I want to touch on the difference between intrinsic, obviously internal energy, and extrinsic, where you're getting energy from outside sources. What are your thoughts on that? Like, when obviously you have really good energy inside, but when your energy isn't in the place where you want it, can you go outside to get that hit, that adrenaline push of it? What does that look like for you?
Literally and figuratively. So I heard somebody, I forget where it was, talk about grounding. Have you ever heard of grounding before?
It's not something I do, but I'm like, it's everywhere now, and I want to know more about it.
So I'm telling you, I have lower back issues. And somebody told me about grounding, and I'm like, what do I have to lose? And they said, what do you have in your pocket? A cell phone. What are you on right now? A computer. What do you have on your head? Earphones. All that is electromagnetical waves and metal. And how often do you get out in nature? For me, even if I do get out in nature, it's to walk to the car. There's not a whole lot of nature going on. And when I go out in nature, I typically have shoes on. And so what I've found is that when I am depressed, when I lack energy, because it happens to everybody, I don't want you to think that you jump on a podcast like this, you're like, man, these guys were on fire today. I prepped to be on fire today. I primed myself, as Tony Robbins would say. Some people prime themselves by going, yes. Some people prime themselves by sniffing something, or some people, there's all kind of things that you could do. For me, I just psych myself up for something like this. So I'm on when I come on camera. But for any of those times that I lack that intrinsic energy, I listen to, for whatever for me, praise and worship music really does it wherever you're at in your spiritual journey. I think if you have that connection with a higher power or higher source, a lot of times not a lot of times, there's unlimited energy in that higher source. For me, it's God. And so I draw a lot of energy from that and praise and worship music. But when I go outside, going back to grounding, with shoes off, socks off, and walk around in my grass, making phone calls, because I'm still on the phone. I got my Bluetooth on, right, to maybe limit the magnetic waves from holding this next to my face, or even sometimes just sit there listening to music for literally 10 minutes. It's whenever you're connecting with and not to get too deep philosophically, but the geomagnetic waves of the earth, and you're grounding, you're resetting your equilibrium. My lower back pain that I was having, now I still go to chiropractic and get stretched on a weekly basis. But standing on that grass and resetting has made that back pain go almost non-existent. Whenever I'm in a different time zone, you can actually ground in a different time zone.
Yes,
2 hours ahead or 2 hours behind, and spend about 15, 20 minutes connecting with the ground in that time zone, you reset your clock. Dude, it's amazing. I'm shocked that more people don't do it, that more people don't know about it. And today on this podcast, the biggest blessing that you get out of this might be grounding, and you try it for the first time ever and it changes your life. Because for me, that was so huge with all the time I spent on electronic devices, being able to connect to the earth, Mother Nature, and reset that equilibrium. So I draw a ton of energy from that. I draw a lot of energy from my source, from God, from music, praise and worship music, and then from other people. Like sometimes I'll just jump on YouTube to listen to a positive message, to listen to a podcast, just like you're doing right now. You may be, let me just speak to somebody for a minute, who's listening today, who just missed the sale, who didn't hit their quota, who's having issues at the house. God has big plans for you. And the reason that you're here today, that you're listening to this podcast, is not an accident. You're here for a reason. Your life is destined for great things. You're unique. You matter. You're understood. And you're about to go to a place that you've never even imagined that you're going to go for, because you believe, and we know you believe, because that's why you're listening. You're not listening today because you're not a believer. You're listening today because you believe, and you want to believe, and you want to believe deeper in the energy and the possibilities out of your life. And we want to help unlock that for you. Gave myself chill bumps again, because a lot of things that I say are not mine. God just speaks through me. And so I do tap into that energy source for me, and I like getting around people that have energy. Yes, I bring energy to the room a lot. And let me speak to something. If you're bringing energy a lot, but you don't have anything charging you up, or your energy is going into dead space, dead people, dead sales teams, deaf ears, brother, there's nothing that drains my energy faster than somebody that doesn't take action or receive well or vibe with me on what I'm trying to share with them. If anytime I have those conversations with people and we're not vibing, I'll try to give them grace, because grace was given to me. Maybe it's the day. But if I have a conversation with a prospect, or with a teammate, somebody that I'm coaching, and multiple times there is zero energy on their end, I don't need that drain in my life. And so I like to stay around people that will reverberate that energy. And Think and Grow Rich, they talk about the mastermind, the vibrations of the mastermind. I used to think it was just conversations, but what I've realized is that people really do return that vibe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. That's why you hang out with like-minded people. And when you get around them, before even somebody says the first word, you're excited because of the energy in the room.
Yeah, man, what's that, dude? Man, I'm gonna make so many reels out of that. That was fire, brother. Here's another one that I did not know. I've learned it about myself the hard way, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it. Not to say they don't, I just haven't seen it. And I study a lot, obviously, read like you. When I do the work, it's amazing what it does for my energy.
Yeah.
And I've realized that on vacation sometimes, like we'll go to Iceland, where my wife is from. If we go for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I love vacation. I can't vacation that long. Like I can't. I need that energy, and that energy a lot of times comes from me giving, comes from me doing what I promised I was going to go do. And there's that passion with it. I don't know the exact details of it, but it is amazing. Literally just taking off Saturday and Sunday. Monday, I feel a little different. I get back in the saddle. Like we were on that training call yesterday. I'm running on a whole different frequency, man.
So you have
so just being around it.
You have those post-vacation blues a little bit too. Then it's not just me. Whenever I come back from a vacation, I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I should have enjoyed myself and gotten all this refreshment, which I do. But there's this like lag and drag. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've started to learn where I like to incorporate a little bit of it in my vacation.
Mm.
Not that I'm not being present for
Good.
family and everything else we're doing, but that's a cool thing, especially if you're an entrepreneur, is with the right ship, the right vehicle, you can do it anywhere. And so just being plugged in, doing something to keep those batteries going. And another little sidebar and a little tip for people listening. If you want, and this is going to sting, but if you want more of your leadership's time, your business, your side hustle, whatever you're doing, come with positive energy. I
Mm.
cannot stand if Alex was hitting me up. He wanted a quick coaching segment. By the way, here's how I talk. Alex, what's going on, brother? Tell me something good.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything good. Life's not good right now. I instantly just dropped. I'm going to lift myself back up. I'm going to give him grace. But if he keeps doing that over and over, I'm not looking forward to that call. Now, when my phone rings, I get that text. I'm putting it off until I'm done with what else I have to do.
Yes.
Versus, I have some people on my team where I know they're calling me for coaching. They're calling me for something. But when I ask that question, they're going to give me some energy because not everything in life is bad. There is something positive, and you can't find that, you're missing out. And so be that positivity, be that energy boost, because as leaders, we need it. I'll be able to give more to you if you're also reciprocating. You're also giving that energy back. Sorry,
No,
you got
that's
me fired
good.
up. I wanted to share that because it was from the heart.
That's where when I said I was going to jump in that meeting earlier, yo, what's good? That's basically exactly what you just said. That's my version. Yo, what's good? Or let's go. I always say stuff like that. And people, my mentor makes millions of dollars a year. And whenever I text or call, we have a conversation, it's going to add value and add energy. And one of the things that I say, and it's a great affirmation, is I'm an adder and a multiplier, not a subtractor and a divider. And so you have to ask yourself, do you add and multiply or subtract and divide? And that level of energy, the way you show up, that's what I was talking about earlier. If I come to somebody and my energy is just going on dead ears or it's negativity or just like what you said, I'll give them a little grace. Okay, it was that one call, but then the next time and the next time, three strikes and you're out. Two or three times in a row, and that's how they respond to me. I'm sending them a voicemail. I'm busy. Hey man, text me. Can't take a call. So if that's you're listening to this right now because you're like, I need like a foster mentor. I need somebody that can coach me. My mentors suck. They won't take my phone call. They're not there for me. They don't support me. They don't want to see me win. If you have a problem with most people, then maybe you're the problem. If you have a problem with most of your mentors, it's probably not them. It's so-and-so never gives me the time and this, that, and the other, and this person. It's probably not them. It's probably you. So you have an opportunity to change.
Yeah, I love that, man. You hit the nail on the head. And by the way, there are mentors out there like that. I wouldn't even call them a mentor. It's more of a leadership figurehead role because of upline, whatever you're doing, boss, manager. But I 100% agree with them. Look internally first, especially if you're seeing it over and over. Especially, are you lifting people up? Are people answering you like that half ring? Like, oh, it's Alex, honey. Take the kids. I got to talk to him for a quick second. Like, I need that fix. And by the way, it's a true story. That's what I do. That's what I know he's going to bring something. And he could be calling to bounce an idea. He could be calling, I'm struggling with this. But I know we're going to have a portion where we're trading energy. Yeah. And I freaking love that. Let's talk. I know we're getting near the end. Let's talk about energy.
One more thing about
that. Yeah.
PMA versus NMA. Positive mental attitude versus negative mental attitude. There was a book called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. And that was also equally as impactful as The Greatest Salesman in the World. So Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. If you've never listened to that, oh my God. And it all talks about the way you view something. And again, one of my good friend's fathers, multimillionaire, owns oil in different countries, sells sugar to Russia, like iron ore mines in Chile, like just insane. And he shared something with me one time. He goes, Alex, you're one of the most positive people of anybody I've ever met. He said, I bet if I put horse crap under the tree, you'd get a shovel to look for the horse. That's the level of positivity. Like if there was a pile of manure, you'd go looking for the horse. You're like, oh my God, look at all this crap. There's got to be a horse somewhere around here. This is awesome. And it almost sounds like that's ridiculous. But why? Why not be ridiculous towards the good versus ridiculous to the bad? Why not see the good? It's a choice, and it doesn't cost more to be positive than it does to be negative.
It's a choice. Key word. And by the way, for those watching on the video portion of this, my cheeks hurt because I was smiling. That's the contagious factor of energy, of being around good people like Alex.
Yeah.
You could be going through something, but you want to be around it.
Hmm.
You're drawn to it. I just can't help
Let
myself.
me say one,
I
one
want to
more
talk about,
thing. I gotta go. One more time. One more time. My dad used to say to me, when he'd wake me up in the morning for school, he says, "I want you to smile at a stranger today and let me know if they smile back." And it was so simple when I was a kid. Smile at a stranger and let me know if they smile back. He was teaching me how to do sales and I didn't even know it. And I don't even think he was
yep.
intentional about it. And so if you're on here today and you have kids and you're out there and selling all day and building all day, and just make sure that you don't give the best to the field and not to your family. And so when you come home saying those things to your kids, smile at a stranger today. Grant Cardone, stranger's got everything you need. Go out and ask for a cookie. Like some of the stuff that I've heard him say to his kids is hilarious. But if you ever watch his kids, like, and they're on a Zoom or something like this, I'm like, oh my God, how are they? Whatever, little teenagers, 10 years old, whatever the case is. And so again, it's being attractive to people, smiling at people, treating them well, and you never know how that's going to return back to you.
Man, you just, it was a mic drop. This is the other reason I love this podcast. When you invite people who are smarter than you, I have pages of notes and I know Alex inside and out, know everything about him, or a lot about him, and a lot about his family. He just said something that stings, because I have been there and I have done it. I've never shared it with anybody. I have found myself when building, I love recruiting. Many know it's my love language. I love team building, where you're not building your tribe and you're attracting people that aren't a vibe with you. And there have been many times, I'm embarrassed to say it, where I've come home, I walked out of my office, come home from a brick and mortar, whatever, where my wife's like looking for me to hang out and be patient and be loving with her and my family. And I've told her, I don't have anything left. Like, I'm sorry, I'm empty right now. My tank is empty. And I didn't mean it to be a victim. I didn't mean it to complain. It was a fact.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it then. It was because I was giving so much with that team, so much at work, so much at the brick and wherever it was, whatever your story is, because I was hanging out with the wrong people. They were energy vampires versus that reciprocal relationship of filling me up. It was me just teaching and leading and doing everything else with no action, with no results, with no fulfillment. And that is an awful place to be. And we don't have time to go there now, but I am so big about speaking to your audience, speaking to the audience you want. Let me be clear on that. I am not here for everybody. I know Alex is not. I turn down more people every single day for my business, my main business now, than I accept. Because if I have any inclination that you're going to be a vampire and energy drain, go join corporate. Go join another team. Like, we don't have a place for you. Yeah, deuces. I freaking love that, man. Because you can't do it. You can't do both.
No.
And so I'm glad you said it. I've never shared that because that is something I'm not proud of, but I've also learned it about myself.
Let me speak to that just for a moment. And for the married couples out there, clarity is kind. Clarity is kind. If you come home and you're pissed or you're this or you're frustrated, it's okay to tell your spouse that. Hey, look, my tank's empty right now. I just need a minute. And Julie and I have something that we do back and forth. We listen to a lot of marriage podcasts. We really try to work on that because that's the best example we think we can leave for our kids and for our legacy. What's all the money in the world if you don't have a family to enjoy it with? But sometimes I'll be like, dude, I got 100. And she's, I got 100. Let's go. Sometimes I'll be like, I got 50. And she's, okay, I got 150. I'll make up the difference. Some days I'll be like, I'm like at 10. She's, I got the 90. She makes up. So we'll have those conversations sometimes. And she's do the kids. I'm like 20 right now. It's like, all right, I need to be 80. I got you. And I'll step up. But it's that clarity is kindness. And when Aaron came home, he didn't say that to be negative or to be whatever. He was just, sometimes you got to be real. Being positive doesn't mean being fake. Having energy doesn't mean being fake. I think a lot of people maybe don't want to be positive and have energy because, oh, that's fake. No, you can be real. Hey, I got 20 right now. Okay, let me get 80. I got 80 right now. Okay, I'll good because I'm not. So you see what I'm saying? So just being clear and communicating with your spouse on what you got when you can even tell your sales. And I wouldn't be completely transparent, that transparent with a lot of sales team. You could have a bad day and you gotta. I hate to say fake it till you make it. I'm more of a believe it until you achieve it kind of guy. But if you're leading your sales team and you're having a bad day, go figure out how to get fired up, read the books, listen to audios, jump on the podcast, do what you got to do, and get back at it. When you get home, sometimes you are drained, and it is kind to be clear so that you're not snapping back at your significant other, and they don't know how hard your day has been. And you just say, look, I'm at a 20 right now. I need to recharge. Anyway.
Yeah. You're 100%, man. By the way, I'm not a huge fan of fake it till you make it either. There's elements there. I get the message and I understand where whoever coined that came up with. I like what you just said about your variation. Mine is always borrow the posture. That's what I think of with that. And what I mean, especially if you're taking our advice, you're around other winners. Maybe not every day, but there's someone around you winning. I borrow their posture. So if I'm not hitting my sales numbers, but I see Alex, I'll shoot him a text. Hey, how many recruits today? How many sales? And he's 10 recruits, 100,000 in sales. I know someone around me is winning. That's going to force me to win.
Yeah.
Like I need the belief. I need to know. It's what he said with the belief. So I'm going to borrow his posture. I'm going to morph into Alex. I'm going to be sharing Alex's stories, that posture until it becomes my own.
Yeah.
And so if you're not in a winning season, let's keep it real. We not always are. Get around someone else who is and just watch what happens.
100%. You can't experience summer and winter, spring and fall. You either got to get good at planting in the spring or begging in the fall. And so whatever season you're in, and this is just so important to me because it's hot outside right now. Is it hot? Is it hot where y'all are at? I don't know.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
Crazy. But I love it. You know why I love it? Because I'm in flip-flops. I'll wear like a t-shirt or a tank top and some like shorts. And I'll take the top off my Jeep and I'll turn the AC on, let it blow on me while the air hits me. I love it. You know what else I love? I love putting on boots and the heat on my feet and still leaving my windows down when it's cold outside. And so people will say, gosh, it's so hot. I wish it was cold. And then you know what's going to happen? November, December, January. Gosh, it's so cold. I wish it was hot. Gosh, it's so dry. I wish it would rain. Gosh, it's raining so much. I wish it was dry. And they wish away every freaking moment that they have because they're wishing for something that when they get it, they just wish for something else. I don't know where that came from, but that was like, just bloom where you're planted. Embrace what you got.
By the way, it ties it all in. You just put a bow on. That's the energy. Be present right now. What's the positivity? He found the positive. Yes, he's sweating, but he's not complaining about it. Dude, I'm able to wear flip-flops. In 6 months, I can't do that. Yeah. Let's enjoy it. Let's freaking roll with it. That's the energy. That's seeing the positivity. Alex, how do people get a hold of you, man?
Yeah, Instagram. My handle is CEO Shahid. So Chief Energy Officer.
How fitting.
Chief Energy Officer. That's me. Chief Energy Officer, CEO Shahid, SHAHID. On Facebook, it's just Alex Shahid, the one and only. I'm in a nice dress shirt with a green background. So if you type it up, you'll see me. For those that can't physically see me right now, I realize we're on a podcast. Some of you will be listening. Green background, white shirt, Alex Shahid on Facebook. I really got to, honestly, dude, I do a lot of coaching and training and stuff with my sales team that's all over. It's international. But I got to do more stuff like you're doing with these podcasts and on YouTube and stuff. I got to get my YouTube channel and podcast up. I'm super impressed. Like, you guys are lucky to be able to learn from somebody like an Aaron Browning and see the top level talent that he brings on Zooms like I say Zooms on podcasts like this. This is truly amazing. And you open up my eyes. I think this is the first non-team training that I've done. And I hope that it's brought value to you, 100%. Value to the followers. But I might have to do this more. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to be going live a lot more on my personal Facebook page. So look forward to seeing you there and bringing more value to you.
I love it. I'm going to share this too, man. This is why I love podcasts. I had this realization, and it wasn't mine. 2 weeks ago, I forget who I was listening. It was Bradley. Yeah. I forgot who his guest was now. I realized something. Alex and I both read. He quoted 8 different books. You know what I mean? You can look at the bookshelves behind us. We're trading books. By the way, I'll never change. One of my goals, and I'm very good at doing it, is a book a week. And I know Alex is similar. Something I've discovered, and it was like 2-3 weeks ago. I was sitting out front. I was soaking up some sun. I had my shoes on, so I wasn't grounding, but it was the same premise. And I'm listening to podcasts, especially when there's guests on. And here's what I discovered. There is an element to this because when you have, for one, it's energy. 2 is we're both trying to offer nuggets to the audience today. So all of a sudden, 90% of this was completely no scripts, no rehearsed. We don't script it, but I didn't follow a template, I should say. It's just conversation. All of a sudden, Alex says something. I'm like, oh, I got to bring it up. You can't find that in a book. You can't. You cannot. The author is reading it. Many times I heard Grant Cardone say all the time, the editor took something out, so he'll go off script on his audible versions of it. That's essentially what a podcast is. It's a group of individuals bringing so much freaking energy, so much of the information that's changed them, and they don't know where it's going to go. And every single episode is so freaking different, man. So I know for a fact you'll kill it. I'd be honored to be a guest on yours. I'm going to, in fact, hold you to it. I'm going to challenge you. You have a gift of giving back, and this would allow you to reach more people than just your personal team. So we'll get there. Do me a favor, everybody, whether it's on the podcast, on the YouTube version, share this, tag a friend, send it to a friend who needs a boost of energy. Send it to a friend who brings you that energy already and say, this is you. Thank you for being you. That's our biggest thing. Alex and I do this for free. We do it to contribute. We do it to give back. We do it to lead by example. And the best thing you can do is like, review, and share this podcast. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Be safe, be great, and God bless. Alex Shahid, thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. We'll talk soon,
Hey,
brother.
thank you, brother. It was an honor.